Hello, we're back and it's time to date Damien. Which is exciting. Let's see what he's into. Damien Bloodmarch. How do you do? I finally decided to join this information superhighway. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I will try my best to understand. I love long strolls through graveyards, oh my god, and spending time with my son. If you would ever like to chat about the latest in Victorian fashion, the inevitability of our own demise, or black cats, please send me a letter. A letter? Aww. I love him already. On Friday night, you're most likely to listen to true crime podcasts while I taxidermy my newest... Okay, I kind of do love true crime. But I couldn't deal with the taxidermy. It would be like, I could take half of that. Half of that is good. If you had one thing to take with you onto a desert island, what would it be? Coffin? I mean, it would probably... I don't know. I assume it would float if it's wood. So maybe that's more useful than it seems. What are your turn-ons? Pronouncing bosom correctly. Okay. What did you want to be when you grew up? I read that as a boat. A bat. Which makes a bit more sense than a boat. But not that much. What's your favourite movie genre? Foreign art house, horror? What's your ideal date? Oh my god. It's night. We are at an industrial dark wave club in Berlin. The music drums to the beat of our hearts. Oh my god. What do you never leave home without? An upside down cross. I don't know, I think mortality saving. This guy. Well, let's do this date and hope taxidermy isn't involved. That would be a really awkward day. It's having a long loading day again. I think I've done this date before, but I don't remember it at all. But we'll see. Oh. Damien seemed really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get to know him a little better. I navigate to Damien's dad book page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a minute before I see that Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. And typing. Man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee and the computer finally dings. Oh, wow. I must confess my excitement to be receiving your kind letter, for, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in as gentlemanly manner as I would have liked. Oh, whoa, there's more. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, adieu. Yours, humbled, D. Bloodmarch. I stare at the screen and reread the letter several more times. Hey, Amanda? Can you help me with something? Ugh. Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. No, can you interpret this for me? Oh. I turn the computer to Amanda and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. This is the hot new thing. See, Dad, kids got over saying lol and mao or whatever and decided that what they needed to do was bring it back to the 1800s. So what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land. Or our dowry. Or... So you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like the first 5 pages, then I read a review of the movie. Still got a B though. Great. So what do I say to Damien?
Yeah.
I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard.
Alright.
Sure thing, dude. Regards, Leaf. The most accurate dad response to any of these texts or messages would just be the single letter K, from my experience. Just saying. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. Wow. The dramatic... I've forgotten the word, but you know, the front of the house. There's a word. I don't know what it is. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor. Estate? The Gothic architecture looms above the other homes in the cul-de-sac. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for a doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one. I pull the large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back, and a hollow sound echoes throughout the house as I strike it against the door. Ooh, creepy. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of who I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. I mean, they're good paintings. As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? I love this room. There's the skulls and the pictures and then the little fancy afternoon tea. And the music. This is great. Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? Where's Damien? Leaf, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. I don't know why, I pictured some sort of Titanic staircase with Damien at the top, like, about to do his sort of princess entrance into the house hallway with his creepy candle holder, though. What's with the door slamming shut? Oh, sorry, there was a draft. And the door creaking open when I knocked? I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings? I like oil paintings. Right. Right. Please, let me show you around. Okay? Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlour, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlour again, for some reason.
Oh!
This is one of the older homes on the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped with the amenities of any modern dwelling. We walk past the door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenage years are. Onward, onward, there's more to see. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. And this is the library. Sunlight streams in from floor to ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly really proud of this room. Ooh, let's do everything. That's always the good option. Let's look out the window first. Which he liked. So we're getting off to a good start. I walk to the window and I'm greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Craig on his lawn. He's doing push-ups with his daughters on his back. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Damn. Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out of full-length windows? Wait, really? No. But Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. Look at the butterflies. getting off to a good... This is going well. If just looking at things is getting me points with this guy, that's a better start than I had with Joseph or Hugo. So I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. I'm concerned I would stick the pin right through my finger. The pinner's gambit. Is that a thing? No. You know, Leaf, in the Victorian era there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought the more tawdry novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read aloud. Naruto struggled against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looked up at Sasuke. Sasuke smirked, unbuttoning his ninja pants.
What?
Okay, I think that's enough. No. Okay, he likes Naruto. That's cute. Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. That's a rare book from my private collection. I love that he's either written it himself, or he obviously reads Naruto fanfiction and he has downloaded it or printed it out so he has it in a book form. That's the sweetest thing. Please, will you join me for tea? I follow Damien to his sitting room, where finger foods have already been set out upon a beautiful tiered silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high-back chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having a high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What? It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact the high refers to both the later time of day that the working class had to enjoy tea and the height of the tables on which they're served. Oh. My dear friend, we're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. I'm going to... I can't ask all these goth questions. It really does just make me think of the IT crowd. Your home is really impressive. Yes! It seems like you've really put a lot of work into this place. Thank you. No one's ever complimented my home before. Hell, I can barely get matching salt and pepper shakers in my place, and look at what you've done. I'm kind of jealous. That's very generous of you to say. What got you so interested in goth stuff? Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city? Sorry? Did you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. You serious? I don't get it either. It's not just Damien. Of course. But it's, you know, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. Seriously? I'd love to see a marching band. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermied animals grew into a sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and culture of those who came before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of tea. I can acknowledge that there were many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and to try to live a life that strictly aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Tell me, Leaf, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do, but I don't know if I care about anything the way you care about this stuff. Well, I'd love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about the things they're passionate about is intriguing and, quite honestly, rather attractive. This guy's the most forward so far. Just saying. Please, do tell me about your hobbies. Quick, sound sophisticated. or be honest. I mean, juggling is impressive. I'm gonna go with that. Oh, we didn't like that. I'm just not very good when it comes to picking actual options that they're into, but I'm just going with what's truest to me. Gravity is an interesting... Not that I can juggle, by the way. Gravity is an interesting thing, and I believe that juggling is the pinnacle of humankind's interaction with the gravitational arts. Interesting. I started out with scarves, but now I can comfortably juggle balls. Juggling pins is currently out of my purview. How do you juggle scarves? Wait, you can. I'm sure I've seen it. I don't know, I just pictured them floating back to the ground. Damien looks at me quizzically, but shrugs it off. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches.
Oh!
Come, I have one more thing to show you. Oh, wow. It's impressive. Damien takes me around the back of his home, where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it, and butterflies flit lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Oh.
Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is a symbolic of different feelings. Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message. Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous bright orange flower off of a vine. Lilium bulbariferum. The orange lily. What do you think this one means? Okay, they're all pretty awful, but... one of the first two I'm going to go with. I'm going with my loins are ablaze, obviously. I don't think either would have impressed him. Oh, I could have got the revenge one. The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Well... And that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. What's your favourite type of flower? Ooh. I do like snapdragons. I don't know what honeysuckle honeysuckle? I can't even say it, so that's out. Sunflowers are probably boring. Snapdragons I like. Apparently, because they're cute. And you can do that thing where you squeeze them so it looks like they're talking. What a lovely choice. Yes. I'll have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. He would put together a bouquet for me? Nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of his beautiful flowers. Suddenly, a phone rings. Doo-doo. Just had to listen to his ringtone for a moment. Oh, Leaf, will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. Go for it. Damien smiles and walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle. Oh, it's a minigame. Oh, wait, what? What? No, what? I'm very confused. Wait. Wait, can I flip it? Oh, I can flip it over. This is not easy to control.
Goal!
S plus? I didn't know you could get an S plus. I didn't get an S plus last time. That was a close one. Uh-oh, here comes Damien. He looks upset.
Ah!
Leaf, my sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything all right? Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucien. What's wrong? He appears to have... Well, his teacher needs me to come to the school, post-haste. Do you need help? Oh, no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together. You're right. This is one of Lucien's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go. Ooh, hello. Damien and I walk into the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo. Hey, Damien, you're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Wow, whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the My Kids Are in Trouble rodeo.
Huh.
What is it this time?
Oh.
This Damien you have to see to believe? Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into a small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting up from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of creepy basements. We find another teacher in a boiler room tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucien and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucien has a bloody nose. Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around.
Huh.
What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucien tried to kill me.
Ah!
The room falls silent. I was not trying to kill you, dumbass. I was just trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was some wine down here. You tricked me.
Huh.
Whoa. Wait a second. Lucien, did you try to cask of Amontillado Ernest? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turn to Damien and whisper to him. What's Cask of Amontillado?
Huh.
It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lures him down to his cellar with the promise of wine of a fine vintage, then buries him alive behind a brick wall. It's a lovely story. So wait, Lucien, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see how it would turn out. I wasn't actually gonna leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot, but then he realized that I had lied about the wine. And you were cackling that word is not working today. And you were cackling maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes? Dad!
What?
It took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the Cask of Amontillado and it took you 20 minutes to realize Lucien was leading you into an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages and then read a review of the movie.
Sweet Manchego.
It's only 5 pages long and there is no movie. Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucien to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me. So when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both have their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Ernest and Lucien high five. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your mediation. We all head up the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucian, Damien, and I all pile into my car and begin the drive home. Lucian immediately puts his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not going to therapy again. I know, son. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you, and I can see that you're struggling. So if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend this next week looking for a summer job. I know how much you want your own car. I can't believe Damien's keeping his cool. I'm impressed. Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucian continues staring out the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. That was sweet. I mean, you'd expect some more anger if you found your kid doing that. I don't know. I don't think my parents would have been happy if I'd ever been found bricking someone up inside a wall. Or planning to. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright. And all things considered, Lucian's bricklaying was pretty good. So there's your silver lining. There's that, yes. I think probably the middle one. I feel the other two are too. He's probably just going through a phase. Sounds really patronising. Like, oh, he's probably just going through... No, or does this... I'm just going to say everything. You're a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him. And I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favours. It rarely does. You're a good dad. See you around soon? It would be my honour and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo! What you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers Extreme Edition? Ugh, I hate this show. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made out of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a 2-bed, 2-bath shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. I am not pooping outside, Greg. Why didn't they just get a regular size house? I don't know. How'd afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucian since he tried to... He lured Ernest down to the cellar with the promise of a fine vintage and then tried to brick him into the wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read this story except for me? I haven't read it either, it's fine.
Yeah.
Lucian live streamed the entire thing. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise it was a fun day. That Damien guy's a character, but he's really good company. And a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. We're back to dad book. Yes. Day complete. Okay, let's see. I feel like that went well. Except after... Yes.
Simply marvellous.
Simply marvellous, apparently. Saved some energy. I should read this Cask of Amontillado. I remember when it was all over the internet for a while and I had no idea what was going on. Although I guess I've now been told what happens. So that's... Okay, so that's an A. So far, seeing as I'm going to be picking the top 3 or 4 dads from the first dates to keep going with, out of the 3 that I've done, it's Joseph and Damien in the lead. I'm not sure which of them is higher because I don't know if it's out of the same total points anyway, but they both got rank A.
Welcome. You've got dads.
So now that we've got the dads again, we will leave it here. And hope you're all enjoying it, and I hope you had a good day. And we will be back soon to date Robert. See you next time. Bye.